Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I just wanted to do a Hamata update for you, show you how they're all coming along here, and just do a little bit of maintenance on them and stuff like that too. Talk a little bit about my culture and care for these guys. I do treat them for the most part like any other Highland Nepenthes, but they do have their own sort of little grow space, their own little nook or microclimate as well. So to start with, let's just remove a couple of dead pictures because that's what I was doing in the first place here. The pictures don't last forever, and I'm just going to cut them off with a sharp pair of scissors. It's still full of liquid, so I want to be kind of careful with that. Just going to grab a little container to throw it in there. And I like to keep them trimmed up as much as I can. I never take off the picture if it's still got anything left alive on the bottom half. I figure that if the bottom is still alive, it's still soaking in nutrients and stuff like that. But if it's not alive, if it's completely dead, then I chop it off. Now, the good thing about, I guess is a good thing, the thing about Hamatas is the pictures don't really go half dead on the top and live on the bottom. So I don't really have to worry about that. Here's one that just opened. It is looking really nice, really nice. And one that is right beside it. They're from the same plant. So you can see the difference of what age does to the picture itself. In these pictures, they are a little bit finicky. I'm going to show you this guy over here who has some beautiful pictures on him. He's one that I put in a bigger pot. Last winter, I was accidentally letting these guys dry out a little bit too much, and I was getting these kind of pictures underneath here, all decrepit and twisted and stuff like that. So I think that is due to them actually drying out and the roots becoming a little bit too dry. So not something I normally like to share, but that's one of the reasons that they are in these trays. The trays sort of keep the moisture in. It's a solid tray down there. It does have a couple holes in it just in case. I don't want them to be sitting in water. But when they were hanging, because these ones here, they're in hanging pot still. You can see like the little hook where it can hang. In the little 4-inch hanging pot, they are really drying out quickly compared to the way they are when they sit in here like this. There's some smaller ones over on that end coming along nicely as well. What else can I say about these? They seem to get better pictures, for me anyways, at least at this stage, if they can sit on something. So again, if they were hanging, the pictures don't seem to grow as big or be as sturdy. Whoops, bumped the camera. Or seem to be as sturdy for me. So if they're allowed to perch on something, you can see those two right in there. They are just starting to inflate, and they're just going to perch on this little bit of moss that's here. And they should grow nice and big, hopefully like these guys up here in the front. So, what else can I tell you about these guys? They aren't as sun-loving as a lot of the Nepenthes I have. They do tend to, under lights, go red very easily. You can see the red there. It's these are now under lights for the winter time, and this one is particularly sensitive for whatever the reason compared to the rest, because they're all getting about the same light. But in the middle of summer, these guys are one bench down. They're not on the sunniest top bench. They're kind of shaded except for from the morning sun anyway, so when the hot afternoon sun is shining in on the greenhouse, they aren't in the direct sun. As opposed to something like a Lowii or a Macrophylla, they seem to be able to take a lot more light than these guys do. I picture these guys growing more really in dense, mossy, shaded areas of a tropical forest. So, what else can I... They don't need to feed, it seems, as heavily as the other Nepenthes I have. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I just love it. I think when I feed them, whether it be like one of those Osmocote pellets or even coffee fertilizer, the next pictures seem to be smaller. And that's a sign that if they're getting enough nutrients, they don't need to have such nice, big, robust pictures on them. So I tend to back off on the food a little bit on these guys and don't give them nearly as much as, again, I would something that's in a higher light environment like Jamban or Dubia or something like that. So we've covered sort of light. We covered water a little bit. You've seen what drying out will do to the pictures. These guys are again on the second shelf, so the humidity is a little higher. They're closer to the to the humidifier. They sit right next to the heliumphoras, so nice and cool and humid, that sort of thing. And this moss, even around them, is wet, so it just makes it more of a microclimate again for them. So nice and moist, mossy, humid, cool, dappled light, morning sunshine. And they seem to be growing quite well. I've recently thrown stakes in a lot of them because I want them to continue up. I don't want them to flop down in this case, in this scenario. So my three main ones, my three first ones, have now been staked, and they're growing really nicely. I can see the distance between the leaves is getting better, bigger, which means they're going to start vining hopefully by the springtime, and then we'll get some lowers and some upper pitchers, and hopefully even some flowers on these guys. Temperatures, again, being on the middle shelf, when the sun is shining, they're not in direct sun, so it's a little bit cooler. They have a nighttime low in here of mid 50s to lower 50s, 52, 53 Fahrenheit. That's about 12, 13 degrees Celsius, and that's pretty consistent. Even in the summertime, the air conditioner will bring the temperatures down. In the summertime, if it's sort of a mild day in the summer, these guys might get temperatures in the upper 50s, and I don't worry too much about it. If it's a really hot summer day and you know the night is just going to be hot as well, I actually turn the air conditioner on a little bit heavier and make sure they get a nice cool evening for them. So anyways, Hamatas are doing really well. That's just sort of a Hamata update for you. I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching.